Welcome back, guys. I know it has been a minute as usual. Just been kind of experiencing writer's block, but we got 3 videos coming up. I have them already lined up and everything. Going to be doing them within the next few days. And it's going to work out perfectly because for one of them, I won't need the 6.0. The 6.0 is going to be going to the shop. I've been waiting a month, 1 week, and 3 days to drop it off. He's been really busy, which I understand, shops are always busy, especially, good ones. They're always really far out. So I've been talking to you guys about doing the motor work in this, putting the hood stack on and everything. So all of that is slowly coming into play. Now, one of the main reasons that I'm having to do the motor work to this truck is because it's got injector knock. I know some people have heard it on my Snapchat, and they're like, injector knock? Hey, bud, you got injector? It's like, no dip. Like, thanks for letting me know it's my truck. I think I would know, The way I am, if it's not broken, I don't really mess with it. I found this out, especially mostly with old vehicles, which I know you guys can understand. If you go and try and fix other things that aren't broken, you usually break other things in the process, or you're like, why did I even mess with that? Nothing was wrong with it. Let's get on with the truck, whatever. I'm going to show you guys how rough this thing starts up. It needs glow plugs. So when it's super cold out, it does not do very well. So I'm just going to let you guys hear starting up how it sounds rough. And you got to let this thing warm up for like 15 minutes or else it'll chug. It's just horrible. This thing does not get up and go. Needs injectors very badly. So let me just show you how rough it's running. It's just running rough. So you can hear it kind of chug there, and it's not that cold out today, but especially in the winter, it just has a lot of trouble starting up. But I'm ready for these new injectors and everything for it just to run a hell of a lot better, be a lot quicker. It is not going to be a race truck. I'm not going insane with it. Some people may be thinking it's just like, well, he's not really going that crazy with it. I'm putting 175s in it with the PowerMax turbo, getting it studded, and that is going to amaze a lot of you. You don't have it studded? It's not bulletproofed? Like, no, it didn't need to be, I've had it for 4 years. I've never blown my head gaskets or anything on it. I've towed with it, I played in it, I've gone mudding in it, like I've used it. So it's not like, oh, well, I mean, he just babies it on the road. He doesn't even take it off road. Like, I use the truck. Like, I didn't really start building it to probably like 2.5 years ago. Like, yes, I did start putting little mods and stuff into it, but I wasn't going crazy, the way I am now. It's just kind of putting little things on it. So it's kind of cool driving around. I started going to truck shows, and then that's when I really started to put money into cool cosmetics and whatnot. But so yes, it's getting studded and all this. We're getting a few other goodies done to it. So really excited for the performance part. It's going to get up and go a lot better than what it did now. So there's that little cold start for you. I want to get closer to the turbo, get audio sound of it, so when we put the newer one in, we can kind of listen to how much of a difference there is. He did say that with this one, he was asking me, he's like, so are you looking for something that's obnoxious? He goes, I'm assuming looking at your truck, you want everyone to look at you or whatever. I said, yeah, I want an obnoxious turbo. And so he says, okay. So I'm really hoping with this one, it is gonna whistle like no other and just outdo this one, because I love the sound of this turbo already. It's just a stock turbo. This is an 06, it's not an 03 or anything. The 03 turbos sound a lot more ear piercing, so I'm hoping it's something kind of like that, just an ear piercer. So we're gonna shut this off for a minute. So the things that I kind of need to prepare for with the cab coming off is I'm gonna have to rip out these. I got 12 rock lights on the truck right now that I'm gonna be ripping out of it. And I think I might have to do the pods, because that kind of runs up over the grill, the wiring to the battery. So I might just unplug them, leave those in there. So now we kind of got exhaust videos and everything. This next clip is gonna be me dropping it off at the shop. Probably gonna be the next day or so, something like that. And hopefully with a few days of it having it there, we can show back up, get some clips of the cab off, or he can send me some pictures or whatnot, and kind of go from there. Well, got a call this morning and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting my truck back. Hell no. I guess he said he ran into a little issue, wants me to come take a look at it. He's like, I can fix it, or I can do it the right way, you know. You come and take a look and you let me know what you want to do. So I guess I'm gonna go take a look, see what it is and whatnot. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, but dude, I'm just ready to get my freaking truck back. The closer I get to picking up my truck, the more nervous I'm getting at the same time, just because, like, I don't know how bad it's gonna be. So it has been a little over 2 weeks. Ran into a few issues with the truck that kind of pushed it back. We'll get more into that later, but it's supposed to be done and everything. He said that he was putting the cab on like 2 hours ago, finishing it up, getting it ready. So it's 6 o'clock. And I'm really nervous to get it back, because you never know what can happen, you know. All this time, you finally get it in, drive in, something else could go wrong. I have very bad luck, and I was telling my girlfriend, like, watch the transmission go out on it or something like that. So yeah, very nervous. So fast forward to the next day, we got the truck back. Took a little bit longer than what we thought, but I'm going to show you guys why. Just going to do a little overview really quick, and then we're going to get into the truck, what it sounds like. So when I got the truck back, he told me, like, it's going to be a while because we ran into some issues. I set it back like another week or so. This is what a piston is supposed to look like, okay? About more or less right there. This is, look at the edges on it. This is what mine look like. He told me, he goes, I really don't know how your truck was still running, you know, how you're still managing to just get it to do what it's done. And this is one of the valves. You can see it's like an S. Oh, like, let me see, I'll put it down. So it goes straight, curves out, comes back in. So just little curvy guy. But definitely not supposed to look like that. You can see when I spin it around in a circle, definitely not supposed to look like that. So ran into more issues with it whenever he was in the truck. And he'd called me up to the shop and he told me, he's like, listen, this is what we're going through, blah, blah, blah. We can either do this, this, or that. We had it figured out. He had to order more parts. And so it set us back a little bit, but nonetheless, the truck is back. Very greasy, so I'm gonna have to go through and clean it. I took it to the car wash yesterday, rinsed the poor thing off, and it still is gonna need a detail throughout the entire truck. We're also gonna have to go and take this bumper off, because if you guys remember a few weeks ago, some crackheads hit me with their car while I was parked at Lowe's and scratched the crap out of the truck. So we're gonna have to rip that bumper out, take it, get it repainted. It's a paint job, not a powder coat. So here's the startup. You can hear turbo a little bit. Now I let it warm up a little beforehand, so that's why I'm gonna rev it up. Dude, as soon as I got this truck back, I was just, I couldn't stop driving it. I've been obsessed with it since then. And so this is 175 injectors. I had them stud it because it was not studded beforehand. It's a Pyromax Stage 1 turbo. What else we got? While he was in there, he did the glow plugs and just pretty much went through the motor, replaced a bunch of gaskets and seals because it had a few leaks here and there. So it is like an almost new little truck, and I was contemplating on selling it. So I don't know if I'm gonna fall back. I mean, I'm falling back in love with it already, as I usually do. Every year I think about getting rid of it, and then I change it up, do something, and then I'm like, damn, well, I guess I'll just keep it one more year. And it's been like that for like 3 years now. So and so right now we got 4 tunes. We got a tow tune, we got a street, a performance, and then an extreme. I was running it on the street tune yesterday. I put about 100 some miles on it. Today I'm running it on the performance. I'm still, you know, touchy on getting on the extreme. Then definitely not going to run it on that often at all. Very rarely will I ever run it on it. Maybe if I'm at a truck show and whatnot, but other than that, no. So let's hear this. Closing the window, see if that'll kind of keep some of that air out. So here's in park, right here. All right, put her in drive. And then here's just idling. I mean, she just whistles. Definitely a way higher pitch than what we were used to. That was rev limiter. So this is it at idle. It does not have a super loud turbo or spool. You know, normally whenever you start them up, you can hear the turbo spooling and all that. That's the only thing that I do not love. Like, I don't hate it. The only good thing about it is my neighbors, they would very much appreciate it. So I think this is a great turbo overall for people that have close neighbors, people that you don't want to tick off, honestly. Like, especially if you live in town or something like that. I mean, my neighbors are still a pretty good distance away. So it's not like they're just 20 feet away from my house. And there's times I even get up at 3 o'clock in the morning when I have to be at the work stupid early to drive 2 hours to another job site. So I'm sure that the neighbors are going to appreciate this a lot more. But even when you start it, once you start driving just to idle, that turbo just spools up and it's loud. It is definitely a lot louder than a stock turbo. The only plus about the stock turbo is whenever I started it up and it was going into the high idle or it warming up, you could hear that turbo spooling. So that's the thing that I loved. I love an obnoxiously loud turbo, but it is a plus because I'm not taking off my neighbors at the same time. Even then, like I said, you can still hear the turbo. So there's still a whistle to it, but it's not that loud. It's definitely bearable. If someone complains about it, it's a little loud, but I mean, they can go cry you a river. Now, this is a reliable build. I guess this is kind of what we were shooting for. I wasn't going for crazy fast because obviously this truck's lifted 6 inches on 36 inch tires, 22 14s on 2-inch spacers. It's a 3/4 ton big heavy truck. So it's not going to be fast. If I wanted fast, I would do something low and wide. With as tall as it is, I knew I wasn't going to get the speed that I wanted out of it. So when we decided to go with 175s, a Power Max Stage 1 turbo, some custom tunes, studs, and all that. So this truck is almost basically bulletproof. Not completely. There's a lot more things that go into bulletproofing a diesel. A bulletproof does not just consist of getting it studded and deleted. There's a very long list they have to go down, but this is definitely on the path of that. I mean, it just sounds so much healthier. You can just listen to it purr. Back when I first had it, it had injector tick. It was just really bad, and it would just idle high, low, idle high and low, and it just was not running, you know, the way it should have been. And like I said, if you've seen that piston and that valve, explains it, and not including that I had stiction like no other. But this kind of just shows how amazing a 6.0 Power Stroke really is. People dog on them and say they're horrible. I maintain this religiously. I take care of it. You take care of the truck and it'll take care of you. And like, I don't know how much more proof you need that. Someone might say, oh, you're just lucky. Like, dude, I got this truck with 138,000 miles. I've been driving it for 4 years. Maintenance, I just now got it studded after 4 years of owning it. It's not babied its entire life. So like, to me, that's why I'm always gonna have a love for a 6.0. This one has been an amazing truck and I'm definitely always gonna own some in the future. But I hope this video was able to help you guys out. If you have any more questions, you want to see some more up close videos or anything like that, I'm going to be posting a lot of them to TikTok. Drop a comment below. Anything more specifically that you want me to go into this motor build that we just had done, or anything in general. But keep an eye out for the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe, because we're going to be installing a 20-piece McTuning kit, Rocklight kit. It's an RGBW that they sent me. I was supposed to have this done a few weeks ago, but since we were set back a few times with this truck, with the piston and valves and all that, set us back even further, I wasn't able to do it as soon as I wanted to. So that's going to come very soon. Beginning of next week, we'll be doing that. Hopefully I can drop this video tomorrow on Friday, which I guess would be today. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think. You know, do you love the new sound, the new turbo, everything on it? What would you guys recommend if I was trying to get a little more horsepower or anything like that? If you got any tips and tricks, I'd love to hear them. But thank you guys. Like I said, make sure to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.